Hello, welcome to the third lecture on modern Indian history. So, in the previous lectures, we have discussed the later Mughals and also foreign powers in India. And in this video, we will be discussing the rise of independent states in India during that period, or on the decline of Mughal Empire. Several independent and semi-independent states arose. So we will just discuss about those independent states through this video, and we will start with Hyderabad and Carnatic. So before moving into our discussion on rise of independent states, we will just have a look at the decline of the Mughal Empire. So during the strong and long rule of Aurangzeb itself, the Mughal Empire started losing its unity and stability. So, on his death in 1707, his son Bahadur Shah came to the throne and he ruled until 1712. Later, Jahandar Shah came to the throne. Jahandar Shah was defeated at Agra by Farrukhsiyar with the help of Sayyid brothers. And this Abdullah Khan and Hussain Ali Khan, they were also known as the kingmakers in Indian history. And these two peoples, that is Said brothers, they were therefore given the offices of Wazir and Mir Bakshi. So Abdullah Khan was made the Wazir and Hussain Ali Khan was made the Mir Bakshi by Farrukhsiyar. So later, these Said brothers itself murdered Farrukhsiyar and they made Muhammad Shah as the emperor in the year 1719. And Muhammad Shah ruled from 1719 to 1748. From 1713 to 1720, the Mughal Empire or the Mughal rule was actually under the control of Sayyid brothers. And these Sayyid brothers were actually known as the kingmakers that we have already discussed. So, when these Sayyid brothers they became more powerful, several nobles they started to conspire against the Sayyid brothers, and these nobles were headed by the most powerful noble at that time, that is Nizam ul Mulk, and he played a major role in overthrow of the Said brothers. And later in 1722, Muhammad Shah made Nizam ul Mulk his wazir. So this Muhammad Shah, he was also known as Rengila, and he was a pleasure loving ruler. And during this period, when Nizam ul Mulk became the wazir, he made vigorous attempt to reform the administration. And as a result, there was a constant quarreling between the Emperor Muhammad Shah and his wazir, that is Nizam ul Mulk, at the court. So, fed up with this, he, that is Nizam ul Mulk, he decided to leave the empire and he marched to south to found the state of Hyderabad in Deccan. And in Deccan, he could safely maintain his supremacy. And his departure actually marked the physical breakup of the Mughal Empire. So, as we have seen from the previous videos or previous lecture on later Mughals, the successors of this Muhammad Shah, that is Ahmad Shah, Shah Alam II, Akbar II, and Bahadur Shah II. And these rulers were just emperors in name. And if you want to get some more details regarding them, please go and watch the previous video on later Mughals. So now we will move on to the discussion of the rise of independent states during this period. These independent states and semi-independent states that arose on the decline of the Mughal Empire falls under three major categories. One was the successor state, and two independent states, and three new states. So these successor states were actually established by the nobles who were serving the Mughal Empire earlier. So when the Mughal Empire started declining, they broke away from the Mughal Empire and they founded new state, just as Nizam ul Mulk founded the state of Hyderabad. So other examples of successor states are like Awadh and Bengal, etc. Then the other category is independent state. So these independent states, say for example Rajputs, Mysore, they arose due to the unstable control of the Mughal Empire over these areas. And the third category is new states. So new states, they were actually formed by the rebels against the Mughal authority. So now we will have a detailed discussion on the state of Hyderabad and Carnatic, how these two states emerged as an independent state. So Hyderabad was founded by Nizam ul Mulk, that we have seen. So Nizam ul Mulk had its original name as Mir Khamruddin Khan, and he founded the Asaf Jahi dynasty there. As we have seen, from 1722 to 1724, he was the Wazir of the Mughal Empire under the ruler Muhammad Shah. Okay, so even before that, he was appointed as a viceroy by Aurangzeb in Bijapur, Malwa, and later he was appointed as a governor of Awadh by Bahadur Shah. And we have also seen that Nizam ul Mulk played a leading role in overthrow of Said brothers, and he was awarded the viceroyalty of Deccan. And in Deccan, he could safely maintain his supremacy. And the rulers of Hyderabad were known as Nizams. And as we have seen, this Mir Khamruddin Khan, he had received many titles. So Farooq Siyar conferred him the title Khani Duran and also Nizam ul Mulk. And Muhammad Shah gave him the title Asaf Jah. And he was also given another title by Aurangzeb, that is Chinguli Khan. And this Nizam ul Mulk was very tolerant towards Hindus. For example, a Hindu known as Puran Chand was his divan. And in 1748, Nizam ul Mulk died, and after his death, war of succession broke out between his son and nephew, Nazir Jang and Muzaffar Jang. And Muzaffar Jang became the governor of Deccan with the help of French. And in return, this Muzaffar Jang gave the French areas near Pondicherry and Mazulipattanam, and Dupleix was made the governor of areas south of Krishna River. Again, Muzaffar Jang was overthrown by Slabat Jang in 1751. And in 1798, Nizam of Hyderabad accepted the subsidiary alliance with Lord Wellesley, and this state, that is the state of Hyderabad, was the first state to accept subsidiary alliance from Lord Wellesley. So regarding the subsidiary alliance and Lord Wellesley and all, we will discuss in the coming videos. So this was the brief history of how the state of Hyderabad emerged as an independent state. So now just we will try to understand the state of Carnatic. So the state of Carnatic was founded by Nawab Sadatullah Khan in the year 1720, and the capital of Carnatic was Arcot. And actually this Carnatic was one of the subhas of Mughal Deccan under the Nizam of Hyderabad's authority. And these Nizam, they had become independent of Delhi, as we have discussed earlier. The Nizam ul Mulk, he became independent from the Mughal Empire, and deputy governor of Carnatic, who were known as the Nawab of Carnatic, he freed himself of the control of the Viceroy of Deccan and made his office hereditary. So as a result, this Nawab Sadatullah Khan, he made his nephew Dost Ali his successor without any approval from the superior, the Nizam of Deccan. Okay, and this Dost Ali was killed by Marathas, and he was succeeded by Safdar Ali. Later, the affairs of Carnatic became very worse because of the repeated struggles for the Nawabship, and this provided an opportunity for the European trading companies to directly interfere in the Indian politics. So this is a picture, this is a brief picture of how the state of Carnatic was there. Okay, so that is all through this video, and in this next part we will discuss Bengal and Awadh, and one by one we will be discussing each independent states that arose. Okay, so thank you, thanks for watching.